Hey there, I'm Robbie with Delta Millworks. We have Baker here joining us today. We're going to be talking about Accoya.
Yeah, we've been working with Accoya for close to 10 years at this point. It was actually brought to us by an architect, kind of at the same time we were seeing some failures with traditional wood, specifically cypress. It's a product that is unmatched in stability, it's easy to finish, it's extremely consistent, it's long lasting, and most importantly sustainable. And this has been a boon for us in the architectural market that we've been focusing on for so long at this point.
Accoya is really the gold standard, not just here at Delta, but in terms of wood products available on the market, whether they're modified, unmodified, tropical hardwoods, North American sourced, anywhere on the market, we would safely say that Accoya, with its 50-year warranty, with the performance it offers, is really the highest performing exterior wood on the market. We primarily utilize Accoya for exterior siding. We do our profiles. We have a few options here on the table that we'll talk about here in a sec. We do our custom textures, and we also do our high performance multi-coat coatings. Most of it's grown in New Zealand in massive tree farms with millions and millions of trees. On average, these trees grow in 28 years until they reach the size of being harvestable. 28 years in terms of a tree growing is almost like a weed in terms of how fast it grows compared to other trees and other wood species that could take sometimes hundreds of years to grow to maturity. So what makes Accoya special and what makes Accoya is the treatment process. Accoya is a clean, chemically modified wood product. It's an acetylized wood treated with an acetic anhydride. That sounds like a nasty chemical at first, but it's really a totally non-toxic chemical. These boards are put into a pressure chamber, and the clean chemical is impregnated throughout the wood. So it really binds with the fibers in the wood, and really at a cellular level, this wood is modified.
If you think about the cells of a tree, think about a group of straws moving water from the roots to the branches, plain as that. And the acetylation process fills up the gaps between those cells, right? So when a piece of raw Accoya gets wet, water's not gonna bead off of it, like you would think with any type of sealant. It's going to just go ahead and pass through that wood without the cells absorbing it, right? So it doesn't shrink and contract, and Accoya is able to put that 50-year structural warranty on it.
We mentioned the 50-year above ground warranty, but Accoya also offers a 25-year freshwater contact or in-ground warranty, which is really just remarkable. A lot of wood siding won't last 25 years as wood siding. Accoya can be used as a canal liner, as a post buried in the ground, any type of freshwater contact. We've actually been to Holland and seen Accoya used as the liners of their canals. And that's a product that's gonna last 25, 30 years submerged in water. So very high performing wood here we're talking about.
Yeah, that was some of the original testing grounds for Accoya, was to line these canals in the Netherlands, which is, until this year where all the Accoya has been produced. Robbie and I made it over there and, physically put our hands and eyes on that, on those canal liners, and they're still there. They're still doing their job, and they've been there since 1995. Accoya outlasts any other cladding, building, siding product, whether it be metal, concrete-based, or plastic. None of them last as long nor warranted as long as Accoya. And old growth forests have gone away pretty much, and the ones that are still remaining, we don't really want to be cutting down. So, Accoya has filled that space amazingly. It's taken a product, a fast growth product like we mentioned earlier, that without this treatment process would be an interior wood, at best, and turn it into one of the longest lasting building products that you can use.
Absolutely, Baker. And once again, in terms of testing and the science behind these products, wood has traditionally been kind of an old-fashioned industry with not a lot of data and science and R&D and testing that goes into these materials. Accoya spent a good part of a decade testing these products before anything was rolled out. In terms of their literature, from fire to insect and termite resistant to weathering to coatings test, a product like Accoya has more data behind it than a lot of these synthetic products we were talking about earlier. So let's talk a little bit about how Accoya can be used and kind of what we focus on here at Delta. I think our primary focus of Accoya is an exterior siding product. In terms of color, texture, sizes, we really have a lot to offer for exterior siding. Accoya can also be used interiors. It's known as an exterior wood, but we do a lot of interior ceilings and walls, especially interior ceilings that flow out to exterior soffits, which we're seeing more and more, where you can see both the interior ceiling and the exterior soffit. People want to use a more durable wood for the exterior soffit, and they also want the same product, so it's a seamless blend from interior to exterior.
Yeah, a lot of our clients are creating indoor-outdoor living spaces, and they want that flow from the inside living room to their decks and their outdoor kitchens to just flow, and that's Accoya is a great product for that. But as Rob mentioned, where it really shines is exterior cladding. There is nothing as good or better than Accoya, and because it is a fairly blonde wood due to its treatment process and its natural characteristics, we're able to put our widest array of finishes on Accoya and still maintain a natural look at the same time. So it's as versatile as it can be. Everybody likes to think that their environment is the harshest. I get calls from, every corner of the North American continent that says, oh, it's really hot here in the summer and it's cold in the winter. What can I use? And every time the first recommendation is Accoya.
Another good use that seems to be growing in popularity is decking. We've been selling pre-finished Accoya for 4 or 5 years now. We can do our custom colors and custom finishing on an Accoya deck board. You can match your siding. You can do a pre-gray on the board, so it is installed in a gray color and ages more consistently. Our colors can really fine-tune and dial in a good look that traditionally you don't see in decking material. Most of it has been unfinished, but we have really seen some good results with a coated Accoya decking product. So let's talk about some of these product details, Baker, specifically the coatings and surface prep and texturing capabilities of Delta. We're a custom mill here at Delta Millworks. We do everything under one roof. We're taking rough sawn planks of Accoya and other species and producing a finished product going out the door at the end of the process. So if you do want a unique size of tongue and groove, of shiplap, a unique face width, a unique thickness, and say coastline Accoya, we can usually do it. It's not just all 1x6 TNG.
Every line item turns into its own mill order and is run independently through our shop. We also have a profile catalog that's 40 or 50 pages long with all different kinds of reveals. So yeah, a lot of option when it comes to profiles, and even more options when it comes to finishes and combinations of finishes and surface textures. When we are done profiling these products and move to surface texturing and then finishing, that's really where Delta shines and really differentiates ourselves from our competitors. And especially when it comes to Accoya, nobody sells more Accoya than Delta Millworks, which means nobody finishes Accoya more than Delta Millworks. We have a team of guys that finishes wood all day long, and basically half of what they do is finish Accoya. Accoya can be temperamental to finish. It's hydrophobic because of its treatment process, which means that it doesn't jive well with every kind of stain and coating system. But we've had that dialed in for years and years. So, we combine all of our standard colors with about 5 to 6 different surface textures, and then we can go custom from there.
We really love Accoya. It's our most popular product, really the gold standard of exterior woods.